me for no reason.
Because he felt your weakness.
She said
She
you could
told me
go.
the baby wasn't mine. I don't want
Why
the
is
baby by
you-
you anyway.
She's constantly lied. She's cheated on me with her ex like 3-4 times.
No, only
Something like
one.
that.
She cheated on you with her ex during the time of conception, during that
Yeah.
same...
Though divorced, still the Livingstons are stirring drama in each other's lives.
You've petitioned this court for a DNA test on your 21-month-old daughter, Jordan, to prove to your now ex-husband, Mr. Livingston, that he is not Jordan's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The plaintiff was inclined toward the other man for this reason.
When she was born, she looked a lot like Mr. Livingston. She had dark hair and she had some of his facial features, but as she got older, she got blonde hair. Neither Mr. Livingston nor I have blonde hair, but Mr. Dorschlag does. She started to look a lot like Mr. Dorschlag.
While Mr. Livingston was rooting for paternity because of this.
I was there through all of it. I was there through the doctor's appointments. I was there through the birth. Everything about that kid looks like me.
So take me back. When you found out you were pregnant, who did you tell, Ms. Livingston?
I told Mr. Livingston. We were seeing each other. We had just gotten engaged right before I found out I was pregnant. Like 2 weeks before I found out I was pregnant, we had gotten engaged.
He was even on the birth certificate.
Are you on the baby's birth certificate?
I've been told I was the baby's father from the very first day that we found out she was pregnant.
And you were with her throughout the pregnancy?
Yes, Your Honor.
You went to the doctor's appointment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were there when the baby was born?
Yes, Your Honor. I was out in the lobby room because I can't deal with blood. So
I had a C-section.
I let her mother go in the delivery room while she was doing the C-section.
And this is where things took a bad turn.
I was messaging Mr. Dorschlag on Facebook, and he told me that he thought that he was the father, but even if he wasn't, that I should leave Mr. Livingston and be with him. Let him be my baby daddy. And Mr. Livingston saw those messages on Facebook, and that was while I was
Only
6
after
months
I
pregnant.
had to go through her phone, through her Facebook app, to find out that she was planning on leaving me for him.
Nonetheless, baby mama had something else on her mind.
We hadn't had the baby yet, Your Honor, and no, I did not say I was going to leave Mr. Dorschlag. I said, I'm married, Jason. I married him. He is my child's father. That is what was said in the messages. I never once, at that time, told him that I was going to move to Tennessee with him.
Nah, I'm not buying it at all.
She was planning on creating a relationship with him. They were talking about wanting to form a relationship.
Are you saying, Mr. Livingston, that at first, when you guys were engaged, she was okay with you being the biological father, but then she decided she wanted to be with Mr. Dorschlag, and then all of a sudden,
Yes, Your Honor.
she decided you were not biological?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, divorce paper acted as the tiebreaker in this paternity dispute.
The divorce papers, she started telling me that could be a possible opportunity that Jordan is not mine.
When you got the divorce paper?
Yes, Your Honor, I have the copy of the divorce papers right here.
Let me see that. So wait a minute. You all are married, the baby's born, and then you get a divorce right after?
No, Your Honor, that is not how it went.
The baby mama denied the whole thing again.
Ability that Jordan was not his. The reason I filed for the divorce is not so that I could be with Mr. Dorschlag. I got a screenshot of a text message from my family member saying that he had asked for nude photos. From
a family member?
Yeah, from my family member. One that I am really close to. I had previously
Is that true,
asked.
Mr. Livingston?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Turns out that the plaintiff had a special place in her heart for Jason.
We still have feelings for each other, and we have had feelings for each other since day one. That's not gonna change, and I told Miss Livingston that in the beginning. I said, there is one person in my life that will always be in my heart, and that is Jason. There is nothing you
Your
can do
Honor.
to change it.
She just proved her point.
You think this is all about her trying to get back with Mr. Dorschlag?
Yes, Your Honor.
Time for the witness to testify.
Eyes, and you look at my brother's eyes, they have the exact same shape, they have the same face. Michael has been there since she was a baby. Michael's been there through the pregnancy.
You've always believed this was your niece?
Yes, forever. We drove 4 hours from Fort Scott, Kansas, all the way to Great Bend, Kansas, for the birth of Jordan Livingston. We were all there for support of the birth of Jordan.
However, Mr. Dorschlag was equally in for a paternity run.
I do believe it because of the eye color and the hair color of the kid. I have sat down and looked at my previous baby pictures and baby pictures of Jordan, and I have came to the conclusion that because of the hair color and the eye color, we do look similar.
That's exactly how I feel. I want Mr. Dorschlag to be the father. I do.
Oh, this just seems very biased, don't you think?
He has a right to be her father. That is why I am here.
So what you're saying ultimately is you just hope he's the father.
Yes, that is
You
exactly
don't
how I
believe
feel.
beyond a doubt.
Excuse me, Your
No,
Honor.
there is doubt.
Okay.
If that's the case, where's he been this whole entire time that she was pregnant?
She said they've never lost contact. Mr. Dorschlag, have you been
Then
in
why has
baby
he not
Jordan's
been there,
life?
though?
So, I guess only the results can clear this up.
Her biological father is Mr. Livingston.
Like I said, I didn't know for sure.
Another woman has stolen Miss Clark's man. And guess what? Now he is denying her child.
You claim that you and the defendant, Mr. Newby, dated for only 3 months before you became pregnant with his baby. You say the relationship was moving forward until he left you for a woman you claim is old enough to be his mother. It is your belief that she is the reason Mr. Newby is denying paternity.
On the contrary, Mr. Newby was not ready to take the fall.
From the beginning, when she first went to jail, she would call me, and yeah, I would talk to her because I was thinking that the baby might possibly be mine. I've had my doubts from the very beginning. She's constantly lied. She's cheated on me with her ex like 3-4 times.
No, only
something like
one.
that.
She cheated on you with her ex during the time of conception, during that same.
The cheating part was something Miss Clark believed was invalid till now.
You know, you had doubts about being a father or whatever, then why'd you have this picture taken with me with the first ultrasound and being happy about being a father?
Well, yeah, because if it's mine, I would love it to be mine.
That's you two here with sonogram picture.
But and then when I first got the ultrasound, when she was working at McDonald's and he was working at McDonald's, she was putting in his head, oh, prove it to me otherwise.
As paternity court goes, the judge was interested in the doubt part.
I asked about the DNA test when we first found out she was pregnant. I was like, okay, yeah, I want a DNA test. She was okay with it. And then after the baby's born, I asked for it. She freaks out. She doesn't want to do it all of a sudden.
Is that true, Miss Clark?
Yes, that is true because I felt my baby was conceived the time that we were together. It wasn't conceived when I was with that other dude because I was only with that dude for a week.
But you do admit to cheating.
Yes.
Up next came the fake baby part.
Of a fake baby.
Well, it was a picture of the internet. It was on the internet or whatever, and I sent him the picture, but I was just upset because
what was your intention behind sending the picture of the fake baby? I need to understand that.
To see if he would like show any interest of seeing his son because he wasn't
You
doing
showed
that.
him a picture of a fake baby as if the baby had been born.
Yeah,
Yes.
a newborn baby.
Further, it was revealed that Miss Clark didn't want baby daddy around.
Go up to the hospital.
No.
Even when the
because
baby
I
was
told
born,
you,
she wouldn't let me go.
Yeah, because I told
She
you.
wouldn't let me go afterwards. I have a
told you
girlfriend.
Yeah, I told he brought her to my doctor's appointment, and then I asked him. I was like, the day after my son was born, I said, you can come up here and see the baby, but do not have her drop you off or come to the hospital.
I was the only one willing to give him a ride to see his own kid.
It's about time for some honesty.
Was Jesse friends with your son?
Yes, he was.
This is getting interesting. Why is it that you're so certain that Jesse is not Miss Clark's?
I never said I was certain. I said that there was doubt. I was not there when they were together and having all of that. If you're gonna be there, you wanna be sure, especially since he lives in another state, because she like dangled the baby over his head.
Well, the beans spilled gave this round to the court.
How have you tried to get him in your child's life?
I would call him and ask him if he can watch him or whatever. If he wants to see him, he said, I can't right now, I'm busy.
I tried taking care of the baby. You would not let me.
Okay, you only buy, how many diapers have you buy? You only buy 2 packs of diapers. You haven't even bought
we bought
anything.
stuff for the baby, she refused. She said, because Joanne got it, I
Yep,
don't
she didn't want
want it.
none.
Because I bought it.
After all that, the real question is whether the defendants can even take care of the child.
I want to understand where you are in life. Well, are you working?
No, I currently just moved.
And you are looking for work?
Yeah.
Miss Faulkner, are you working?
I'm fixing to start working next week. I just moved to Florida.
Okay, 2 people that's fixing to start working got a lot of nerve about to snatch a baby from its mother, and neither one of you got a job.
Ha! They got some nerve. Let's get to that result.
Mr. Newby, you are the father.
The compulsive lying of the defendant has left the cousin no choice but to seek Judge Lake's help.
You and your mother say you had no choice but to drag the defendant, Mr. Bell, into court today because you're fed up with his lies.
Yes,
He
Mom.
denies being the father of your 7-month-old son, Taquan, and has even gone to the extreme by blocking all contact with you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, the trial begins on that note.
You took her with you. You had your cousin in the car. You got out the car. You greeted me. You hugged me. I told you I'm nice to meet you. You said nice to meet you too. She got in the car with you. She left with you for that whole weekend.
Miss Cousin, you're basically saying that Mr. Bell was a 2-timer. He had your daughter thinking he was in a relationship with her, but he was really in a relationship with somebody else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow, looks like Mr. Bell has a lot going on here.
We went out once, but that was it. A whole weekend? No, I had to get back to her.
I go in her room. I found receipt with 2 combos on it.
2 combos of
Meal for
lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Destiny can give a more vivid view of what was going on.
We met at this job that we was working at. When I first met him, he told me he wasn't with no one. I never slept with no one else at work. Every time I go out to get lunch, he right behind me. What you eating for lunch? Can you buy me something? Meet me downtown. Tell me I cannot pay his phone bill every time I get paid.
When she should have been.
Were you paying his phone bill?
Yes.
Who on earth does that?
Now you say, yeah, you ate the food because she was buying it. You said, yeah, you slept with her. Once.
Lie.
It only takes once, you know that, right?
No.
What was the nature of the relationship in your mind?
We met at work. I only seen her outside of work maybe twice. We was never together because I had to go home to her. I was staying with her and my kid.
Were you flirting with her at work?
Yeah.
Mr. Bell's claims were really hard on the baby mama.
No, he lied. Why would you lie on me for no reason? Because he felt your weakness. That's what he felt. He felt that he could take control of you because he knew that you was the one that was not gonna say nothing and was gonna be silent. But as of today, God is my witness. I'm speaking, and I'm speaking out loud.
Are you denying the baby
Yes.
is yours?
Yes.
The defendant was manipulating the situation very hard.
Came home, I called him. I said, I'm pregnant. He said, oh, well, call me back. Let me know what you gonna do. And that was it. And he hung up the phone.
Did you tell your manager at work?
I told my manager, because that's the day that my back was hurting. She said,
And she
you can
told me
go.
the baby wasn't mine. I don't want
Why
the
is
baby by
you-
you anyway.
Mr. Bell was no help around the child, and he was not even sorry about it.
She's pregnant. Do you participate in the process of the Not at all.
She with a whole nother dude doing her pregnant.
No, I was
What
not.
dude under 25 gonna be with somebody else? A
Boy,
pregnant
you
woman
is
that-
lying.
that
You
ain't
a
his baby.
composed liar.
What-
I
what is
wasn't with
composed to?
nobody. I
She didn't
wasn't
start
with
talking to
nobody.
until
Thank
after
you.
this baby was born.
Baby. He had his baby mama searching on me.
Nah, you search my baby.
Well, the defendant had another woman on the side.
I was pregnant with our second daughter. I guess you could say a mutual friend happened to recognize Cortez on her page, like for his pictures and stuff like that. And he asked if Cortez and I were still together. And I was just like, you know, of course. He gave me her name or whatever. I searched for her on Instagram. Of course I'm gonna search. I see Cortez as her profile picture.
This is why Miss Cousin was persistent about Mr. Bell being the father.
Together 3 times, unprotected, and he know that.
Where'd you all go?
We'll go anywhere.
Where we went? Where did we go?
In the car, it don't matter.
Where did we go?
And we
Since
went to the
was on
club
a
with
date?
your cousin them. You know that.
So what you're saying is you all would go out or have sex, but he'd always leave.
Yes.
But you didn't think he was in a relationship.
No.
Things are just going in circles. Time to square it off.
Mr. Bell, you are the father.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Serious doubt is keeping Mr. Platt from stepping up to the plate.
I've come from a broken family. My dad was never in my life. He's not on my birth certificate either. My daughter deserves the best. And then this is why I'm here today, because I'm going to make sure that his name is going to be on that birth certificate.
Because you have no doubt he is the biological
There's no doubt in
father.
my mind, Your Honor.
But you do have doubt, Mr. Platt.
Yes, Your Honor.
It turns out that the plaintiff was living with her ex while dating the guy at the podium.
And I was
so
still
at
living
that
with him.
point, you moved out of the house with the other guy.
No, I was still living with him. I was still living with him.
And were you intimate with the other guy and Mr. Platt
Not
at
at
the
all.
same time?
Not at all.
Because we get a lot of people that come into this courtroom and say they were broken up, so they couldn't get pregnant
That's
because they
why
were
I don't
broken
know.
up.
That's why I have the doubt, you know what I mean?
And
Because
that's-
he would
and I
always go back
understand
and
that.
forth, and then
The pregnancy thing was quite a shock for Mr. Platt.
You kept going back and forth between the two men,
Right.
Mr. Platt and then the ex. When you find out you're pregnant, who do you tell?
I told him first, obviously, because I was living with him. And
What?
I took,
See, that's
I
what I
took
mean.
the
Doesn't
test.
make
that-
But were you
I took the
having
test that
sex
could
with him?
No, not at all.
he was still in love with that dude, obviously, but he was just kind of like go back and forth.
He was not even there for the birth.
That he was there. He was present at the hospital.
He was.
You know what I mean? I wasn't
Your
trying
ex
to all
came to the hospital
I
when you had
talked
the
to Mr.
baby?
Platt. I talked to Mr. Platt the day before I had my daughter. He was thinking that it wasn't his baby. The other guy
always-
didn't
every
show up
time-
until 7 o'clock that night. He stayed the 3 days in the hospital with me. But he also knew that he was not the father. And he said right then and there, I don't care if I'm not her father, I'm still gonna be here for her.
See, things like this fuel up the suspicion part.
With me and the dude that she was with before.
Why do you have friction with the other guy? Why are you all even in the same place at the same time?
I don't know, like she would invite me over at the time, and then I would still go over there.
This is
I
sounding
can't believe I was
ridiculous.
involved in my-
Why are we acting
What?
like this guy is like, he's like a ghost just lurking around all the time? I mean, no, really. I mean, he's coming around for a reason.
After this, came to a bunch of excuses.
Basically off and on for a year and a half, and I spent all the time. I got her, like she wasn't working.
They've been living with you off and on for the year and a half.
Well, basically almost a year and a half. I've been stepping up, and I was getting her gifts and diapers and all that. I'm doing everything, my rent and everything else on top of that.
But at the same
Lights,
time,
everything on-
you would do your part. You would take care of her. Yes, I give it to you. You stepped up.
A lot of questions going around. with no valid answers.
And I have pictures, you know, sometimes in the beginning, like I was doing a comparison, like she has my nose. As far as in the eyes, like she has her eyes. And then the next picture, she's starting to change a little bit, like she has my ears still, but her eyes looks like the other guy's eyes right here. They look slanted. Her eyes are changing again, so now it looks like my eyes again. And then her chin has her chin now.
Mommy even had conception facts up her sleeve.
Because we've had so many miscarriages. Our last miscarriage was right before Anaya, and I lost that baby when I was 5 months. I was already in second trimester.
You were sleeping with this other guy?
No.
In your court papers, what you stated and what you're stating now is when you were with the other guy and you were attempting to get pregnant, you could never have a miscarriage.
Right.
What does the expert have to say about this?
Early miscarriages are usually due to chromosomal abnormality. If it's what we call like a fatal mix, a miscarriage will ensue. But if it's been 7 miscarriages, like there would be a problem where dad would have to get what we call karyotyping to take a look at his genetic breakdown to see what is happening with him.
Okay, let's see if the result is what Miss Mora is claiming.
Mr. Platt, you are the father.
Paying the expenses of someone else's baby is unfair, and Mr. Harvey wants to be done with it.
You are asking the court to award you $496.52 for baby supplies you say the defendant, Ms. Jett, demanded for a child you adamantly deny is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jett, in response to Mr. Harvey's suit, you have petitioned the court for the results of a paternity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
First things first. Who did they end up producing a baby?
I was having sex with him every day.
You left
morning,
a
noon,
month
and night.
later.
No.
A month after I met her, she left and moved back to Orlando. I stayed 60 miles from her.
Yes,
and
after I found out I got pregnant, that's when I moved.
And told me to buy all this baby stuff.
Ask him, okay.
I did not argue with her.
It takes 9 months for somebody to be pregnant.
You meet each other, move in together, and get pregnant all within a month.
Yes.
Looks like that daddy had a change of heart quite recently.
You were happy when you heard the news because you thought it was your child.
Yes. After she found out she was pregnant, we stopped talking. She moved back to Orlando. She wrote.
Why'd you stop talking?
Because he was so sexually active with other women. He was cheating on me.
At some point, you were living apart.
Yes. I was asking him months and months and months, can he get this? Can he get that? He said, no, I'm not getting you.
Mr. Harvey had proof that he was no deadbeat dad.
1 diapers, 2 baby wipes, 3 pacifiers, 4 bottles and a bottle scrubber, 10 her lotion and body wash. And she need all this stuff before April. Bye. This is all before the baby's born.
Yes, but
then you responded back, okay.
I bought it.
It took him months and months to buy this stuff. I've been asked him for this.
Up next, Judge Lake asked the plaintiff to be more specific with his claims.
When I first met Sade, she got pregnant fast, and then we stopped talking. She was in a relationship. And she said she was in a sexual relationship. That's one. And another thing is she had the baby and tagged the dude name in the picture when the baby was first born. I got evidence for that. Was she tagged another dude? If the baby mine, why didn't you tag me in the picture?
However, the defendant was not ready to go down that easily.
Her diapers is a little less than what he's suing me. Plus her feeding is double that.
I'm suing you for what I got a receipt for.
Her diapers are close to what you're suing me for.
Every time you needed diapers, every time she called me, I gave it to her, Your Honor.
You claim that what he's given you is merely a drop in the bucket.
Yes, it's really nothing.
And these are your real expenses.
Yes,
as it relates.
Down just off of a Facebook post? Isn't it too much?
Your doubt is just based on a Facebook.
That, Your Honor.
What is it?
Okay, and then another thing is, after she had the baby, she was trying to get pregnant again. She told me she was pregnant or whatever, so I went and got her and stuff like that. And then she had started going through my phone. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go through your phone too. So I go through her phone, right? She telling this dude, she said, you need to pay for this abortion.
No, I didn't.
However, Miss Jett's mother had this to say.
No, he hadn't met me, but you called me and told me my daughter is pregnant and how I shouldn't worry about you leaving.
I did not know Miss Kim until after the baby was born.
No, you didn't know me.
I didn't know her.
Oh, you called me. Don't sit up there and lie. You did call me.
I did not know her until after the baby was born.
All of that said, let's get to the result.
Mr. Harvey, you are not her father.
Before I met you, yes, but I was never pregnant.
Miss Jett, you so diplomatic now.